That
press.
Dead press.
Yeah.
Definitely that press.
So yeah, we live now, but yeah, man,
Definitely.
but that's 50 year anniversary. Let's see what that broad from ESPN say, the one that hate all black people, but she's black. You know,
Malika Andrews.
Yep. She just have something negative to say.
She just got promoted too. I just saw she got promoted.
I saw that. Yeah.
The NBA on ESPN, like the main person now.
Yeah, she's the main person. She's gonna be cut. She took on Mike Greenberg's spot. Covering the finals and I think probably the playoffs. I don't even know why. I mean, to be honest with you, I was watching ESPN the other day. Probably like a week and a half ago. Stephen there. You know, you got the girl. She the bad one with the bald hair. You got her, and then you got this other girl.
I like her. She went to Miami.
Of course, that's why I fuck with her too. You know, not only she look good, dressed good, you feel me, but she got the swag too. Now there's this other girl. Oh my God, I'm like, why do you even have this girl on the show, man? It's kind of for me having these dimes on ESPN kind of taken away from the show because they always trying to compliment them or they really try to do that extra shit with the ball girl because the ball girl, she's bad. And of course she's from Dade County, the beaches, the women and the weather, the swag. But they always complimented her and I like it, but I hate it. And it gets to the point where the women, you can see it, they feeling uncomfortable. Like, man, let's go to the topic, like enough about me type shit. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't even been watching too much TV lately.
Yeah,
ever since like August started, I was watching a lot from like May, June, July. I was watching a lot of talking head shows. I was watching Speak every day.
Mm-hmm.
Watching a little bit of the show before that with Chris Broussard and Nick Harris and I forgot what it's called. Speak for Yourself. No, it's called First Things First. I started watching that. That's pretty good because Nick Harris, he be rolling. He was rolling with the Heat when they was winning, So I started watching that. But your boy Shannon Unk decided to look for greener pastures, and they still searching for like a. I still searching for a co-host. I heard it's gonna be Wayne and Richard Sherman.
I heard that too. Mm-hmm.
And I just heard today that Rachel Nichols is gonna be on that show too. I was like, man, I didn't really watch it like when Unc was on there anyway. I don't know, man. I just felt like they didn't gel. You know what I'm saying? And I could feel it. I could feel it through the screen. I was like, these people don't like each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't really watch it.
Unc always was holding it down. That's the reason why I really was fucking with that shit tough because Unc coming with the comeback. You know the dime that you don't want to argue with because she gonna go ahead and read your ass from your head to toe. That was Unc. That was Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp always came forward to the show. You feel me? Tucks on point. You feel me? Of course, he had probably a Black and Mild or some yak. That's the only dude I seen on national television come with some cognac, sipping cognac on national television. This is not a podcast and vibing. I'm like, yes, Unc did all that. But yeah, man, like you said, they're still looking for a co-host. Of course, Lil Wayne, which I don't know why would they even have Lil Wayne because Lil Wayne's irrelevant now. I mean, yeah, you're one of the greatest rappers that ever made it. I think you made the top 50 or top 100 list when it came out. But I ain't really trying to listen to Wayne when it comes to, him talking sports majority of the time. I'd rather listen to Cameron and Mace. You feel me? Not necessarily Mace, Cameron. You feel me? Cause Murder Cam. No. What was Killer Cam? You feel me? It's Murder Mace. Killer Cam, boy, he be coming through. But yeah, man, like I'm gonna do his thing, man.
We'll see. I'm gonna give Lil Wayne a chance, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know that Cam was gonna come with it until I saw him, you know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody knew, like, okay, he's gonna be this entertaining talking about sports. So we'll see, because I know he had a lot of punchlines in his songs with rap, with sports. I mean,
Lakers.
So, yeah, Lakers. He's a Green Bay fan. I know that.
Because he's a Heat hater.
Is he?
Hell yeah, you remember when LeBron came over here and he was hating, you feel me? He said something about Chris Bosh's wife. You know, I don't smash Chris Bosh's wife and this, that, and the other. Ever since then, he wasn't welcome back to the damn stadium in the heat. So I definitely do not need him being no damn broadcaster because that's just another one that hate us, you know, and gonna enjoy the beaches, the women, and the weather, and then you're gonna go ahead and hate on the damn Miami Heat. No, I don't know.
You know. I didn't even know that. But let's get this thing started. It's the MarcWes Sports Podcast, back in effect, representing Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County, and most importantly, Canes County. Make sure you go to canescounty.com and subscribe for all information. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this podcast, the MarcWes Sports Podcast, real sports talk from a South Florida perspective. Wes, I'm going to let you take it, man, because I've been like, basically swimming, eating, sleeping, Canes info right now. So you let me know what's going on with the Dolphins. Let me know what's going on with the Canes. Let me know what's going on with anything else. I have been watching Messi, though. You know me. To me, it's almost like the big three. It's like I cannot miss a game now because he's going off every game. Every game he's scoring. That last game had me on the edge of my seat. I mean, it's crazy, man. Like what he's doing to this team, probably going to bring in more players. Now Mbappe talking about coming to the MLS. Hey,
why not?
Yeah, things are jumping in Miami for sure with that soccer team. But yeah, let me know what's going on. I'm gonna ask you about the Dolphins first, man. What's going on with the Dolphins? Because we got the Dolphins preseason game coming up tomorrow, first one against Atlanta, and they've been having some joint practices. I've been seeing some tweets here and there from my guy David Fiornes, who's my guy covering for the Sun Sentinel. Omar Kelly, I've been seeing his tweets and stuff. But what do I need to know?
What you need to know is Tua is Tua. Tua is doing what he needs to do. Of course, Tua, we already know he bulked up. We know he's playing the wax on, wax off situation with the judo. You got that on point. But to be honest with you, like for me, I'm pretty sure the same thing is for you when it comes to the O-line, because regardless if Tua is 100% right now, if the O-line don't hold their part, because of course this is a real team game, unlike basketball and some other sports, like you're going to destroy this guy's career. And from my understanding right now, the O-line is still looking kind of shaky. I mean, certain key guys you see that's not there. You got Armstead, he's not there. They're still trying to figure out who's going to play the right tackle. They're still trying to figure out what's going on with the right guard, with both guards, period. But more specifically, the right guard when it comes to Liam Eichenberg. Our damn draft picks has been looking crazy for the last few years, and this guy was somebody that was supposedly.
I thought you said giraffe picks for a second. I
thought you were trying to giraffe pussy in a second.
I know. I thought you was already segueing into some
But yeah, so yeah, Liam Eichenberg, we wasted a pick. It's looking crazy right now. I'm hearing that
we wasted a pick with
we missed a pick. It's a lost pick when it comes to Liam Eichenberg. We drafted this guy high, for our interior, and he's still getting mudded, gutted, and slutted from our team, his teammates, and going against the Falcons defensive line, and it's looking crazy right now for me. One thing I can actually say right now is somebody that we've been wanting to be gone off the team for the longest, Noah Igbenogany is looking good.
Looking good.
Yes. Everybody's been, giving him his props right now. They're kind of giving that praise to him, but they're really going ahead and giving a shout out to our defensive coordinator. How I guess this scheme right now works well for Iggy, and if it does, that would be great, because right now I think his last year. I mean, I know everybody that follows football know if you were not drafted high like Iggy was in the first round, you would have been off the team a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But to be honest with you, it seems like it may work out, because if we're able to salvage him as a first round pick, we got a first round pick that battle tested, done got gutted so many times. Everybody knew when he was on the field, we're gonna go in, you're gonna attack this guy because this guy is a gook. This guy definitely get us first downs. We're gonna go ahead and keep attacking. It don't seem like it's gonna be like that this year. Of course, we got Jalen Ramsey that went down. Tough. Funny thing is not the tough thing, but the positive thing that I get from the Jalen Ramsey situation, it wasn't a complete ACL tear when me and you. Matter of fact, when you had texted me, you kind of put me on point. I was like, damn, of course we got the baby. And, I was, working and stuff like that. But when I wound up getting that text, my heart done dropped. I'm like, damn, all this damn hype, you feel me? Them going to the Heat game, saying that they're going to be the gruesome twosome. You got X-Man and you got this guy over here, Jalen. They're going to be the best cornerback tandem in the league, especially for the AFC. The AFC got a whole bunch of quarterbacks going to be throwing the ball. We got Aaron Rodgers that got transferred to the damn Jets, and Patrick Mahomes, and the list go on and on and on. And Jalen Ramsey goes down. When I told you all, Fripp, look, that shit looked like an ACL. You feel me? Because he grabbed his damn knee. And from my understanding, I heard conflicting stories. I heard it was him and Tyreek Hill had bumped knees. Then I heard that it was non-contact. So, if it's non-contact, it's serious, majority of the time, especially when it's on turf. But we're playing with real grass. So, that was the thing that was swirling in my head like, damn, we're playing on real grass. So it can't be because it's turf. So let's think, hopefully it's something else. But, I was wrong. Thank God I was wrong. But the MCL is just as bad. It's not as bad as the ACL, but it's gonna be sidelined for a while. Exactly. Especially if you're somebody that's moving lateral, you're doing all type of different things. You're backpedaling. You're doing all type of shit. You're not like a regular person like me that's just waking up and walking. Of course, you're probably gonna cause more damage. But I don't know. We got Adrian Peterson a few years back had an ACL tear, and he came back sooner and better than ever. So hopefully that's the case with that. But regardless of the fact, and not just that, but Ramsey was saying the same thing. He was like, he didn't think that it was that serious. So we'll go ahead and see. But regardless of the fact, we wind up signing somebody from the motherfucking apple tree, Eli Apple, somebody that Tyreek Hill been at odds with for the last few years,
Yeah,
and
I know.
I love the fact that they asked Tyreek like about him, and he was saying all the politically correct shit. We're on the same team. He's competitive, this, that, and the other. But he did say like, I look forward to mudding his ass every day in practice right now. So that's a good thing. Hopefully him playing Tyreek and that speed and Waddle and the plethora of receivers that we have right now works magic for him the same way it worked magic for Igbenogany. So that's what I could say when it comes to the corners right now. We got our rookie corner. He's looking great. From my understanding, he looked like he could be the number 2, but Kohu, he is shining out there, undrafted, supposedly undrafted, and we wind up getting him, and we seen what he did last year when our other cornerback just didn't show up. He collected that check and kept it moving. So for him, he's battle tested. I think they should kind of put him in the slot because he's not as big. Yeah, he tackles, and that's what you want. Those slot receivers, they're able to be like Wes Welker of old, and they're a little faster now. If you could get Kohu to actually tackle them, get them like a 2-3 yard gain, and you won't get too many yards after catch, then that'll be a good thing. But I think we're good with the corners right now. Of course, we got the safeties. Of course, everybody know about Holla. He's a blue chipper. He's a big boy with heavy nuts, and he's gonna do the same thing that he's been doing. I think this year he'll have a little bit more range right now because currently we're healthy. Currently, we got other safeties that can actually do a lot more things that keep him from just staying back there in coverage. So you'll see him in the line. You'll probably see him in different positions this year, kind of like James Williams going to do this year. But For real, the D line is looking great. Wilkins, they said something about him looking like a Dominic Sue. Of course, you know that he's getting paid $10 million right now. He said something about his contract recently, but he's not like other individuals.
It's a contract year for him, so he's gonna ball out.
Exactly, but from my understanding and from hearing from Omar Kelly saying like, look, why would you offer him a contract right now when you picked up the 5th year and you could franchise tag him 2 years again, and then you're going to go ahead and pay him $16 million. So why pay him more if you're going to go ahead and keep him anyway? I mean, and when you get franchise tag, you don't want to look like a person that gave up on the team, because another team's not going to go ahead and pay you that money, because they're going to be like, okay, if we don't pay him, then he's not going to act right. If he's not going to be a team player. So he's doing what he need to do. He revved up his motor, and he's looking like Ndamukong Suh so far. The few drills that I seen him getting to the quarterback, but he was going against Liam Eichenberg. And that's the guy right now. He's the weakest link. Everybody's talking about him that follows Dolphin sports, especially Omar Kelly. Omar Kelly gonna give it to you raw and uncut. He's gonna tell you that this guy is a waste of talent right now. Hopefully, it's just like some people just be stuck in the rut for a little bit, and then hopefully when the season happens, hopefully after really, really playing a few games, then things can happen or change for him. But they said it doesn't matter if he wind up being that gook that supposedly he looked like he is all of training camp. Then we got that guy from New England that played left tackle, and he could go ahead and plug into the right guard. But anybody's gonna look good next to Teron Armstead. He's gonna make the whole O-line better. And this whole training camp, he hasn't been playing. So we've seen it in regular season. When he plays, the O-line look good. When he doesn't, and that includes practice, the O-line don't look good. So hopefully all these positive things that Tua's been doing, gaining knowing the playbook, even not just Tua, but players, period. You got people in the offense and in the defense that said that they really didn't know the playbook last year. Tyreek Hill said he was running routes. He was just playing like backyard football. And, when you got that speed, you could go ahead and, kind of max certain things, So for him to be the way he was last year, and he came and he's saying that he know the playbook this year, hopefully that everything works in a positive, because all knowledge and knowing the playbook from front to back is probably going to do positive things for the O-line, D-line, and as a team as a whole. But that's what I get from the Dolphins right now.
It sounds like you out there, bro. Like you just gave me a report, like you're a reporter out there on the field.
I follow them. I follow them boys.
Everything, dog. I was like, God damn. From kind of, I guess, the outside looking in, I look, I follow certain accounts, so I get some information. It seemed like, I'm glad you mentioned Javon Holland, because it seemed like he's up for a Pro Bowl year. And it seems like Chris Wilkins is also going to have a Pro Bowl type of year. Mm-hmm. They already probably pencil in Tyreek Hill as a Pro Bowler. Tua could definitely be a Pro Bowl type of player.
He is.
Especially with this offense. And then X-Man is has been a Pro Bowler. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be, especially if Iggy, like you said, is playing like he is, and then Eli Apple is, iron sharpens iron. So I think him playing against a Tyreek or a Jalen Waddle is going to make him an even better player. So I ain't named nobody on that offensive line, and I am worried about that offensive line. Teron Armstead, if he could stay healthy, big if, because he really can't stay. He hasn't been healthy since he put on the Dolphins uniform for an entire year. If he could stay healthy, he could be a Pro Bowler as well. So you're looking at 7, 8 Pro Bowling players right here. And usually, bro, when you got that many Pro Bowlers, that means you're like one of the top 4 teams, top 6 teams, at minimum top 8, So the sky's the limit for this team and what they can do. But I tell you the players that I'm excited about. I'm excited about the rookie running back, Devon Achane.
yeah.
That boy looks
Yeah.
like he is gonna be the truth, man, because he's got speed, like track speed, like legit track speed, like cheetah speed.
He's gonna replace Tyreek.
Right, exactly. And but the fact that you got two players like that at the same time, you got one taking the top off of the defense, and then you could just chuck it off to Devon Shane when Tua doesn't see anybody open. He can get you like 10, 12 yards if he's in space. So I'm really excited about him, and I think Jalen Waddle's got something to prove as well, because although he had a big season, he didn't make the Pro Bowl, and I know he wants to take that next step in his career. So I'm really excited about him. The other players I'm excited about is our boy Braxton Berrios, bro. Like, we finally probably gonna have yes, representing the U. We finally gonna have somebody who's a legit kick return, because last year they was juggling a whole bunch of guys. You probably don't even remember who was really returning kicks. Probably don't even really remember like who was really returning kicks or really punts, because they was shuffling guys in and out. With Berrios, you can, well, Berrios, you could trust him. I know when I was watching him at the U, you could trust him back there. You know he wasn't gonna fumble it. You know he was gonna call for a fair catch at the right time, and he was gonna take his opportunities. And he's already run a kickback in the NFL when he was playing for those stinky ass Jets. So I would imagine that he is going to be that guy, for the Dolphins. And then the other guy is Robbie Chosen is what we calling him now, who used to be Robbie Anderson. He's from the crib. He's from Broward. You know what I'm saying?
I like the way he talked too. He talked like he from the crib, man. Like he had he was praising the coaches, or he was praising them in a Miami way, but I'm happy you said Chosen. That's one guy during this offseason that he been balling, but it don't seem like the coaching staff has been drawing up a whole lot of things from it. It looked like he's like 5th or 6th strength. People that technically he can be a starter. Technically, you would say he's the 3rd receiver or so on or 4th, basically making the team. But from my understanding, from what I've been hearing, they've been giving more reps to like Izakama. He went down with an injury, and a few other players that's kind of undrafted. A lot of guys get more reps than him, huh?
They probably just want to see what they got. They want to see what they got with them young guys. They probably already know what Chosen can do. He's a veteran. Yes. So they probably just want to see like who gonna make the roster, like who's gonna be that 6th receiver. So that's probably what's going on there.
Yeah, because I was thinking the same way, but certain things that made me not think like that, because Tyreek was getting reps, Waddle getting reps, and they the starters, we know they know the offense. I don't know. Hopefully he does make the team, because I think, that's a long guy. He runs like a 4.3. He's gonna blow the top off people. And Tyreek, Waddle, Berrios, all those guys are small guys, and we need that big guy, because Devontae Parker's not here no more. I mean, when he was here and healthy, he would catch a lot of 50-50 balls, and I think if you give us Chosen, he's basically going to show you why he was chosen by the damn Miami Dolphins, because he catch nothing but balls, but that's it's a good thing. But I want to kind of rebuttal what you just said about everybody, Wilkins, Holland, all these people that supposedly may make the Pro Bowl. I do not want them to make the Pro Bowl. Fuck that. Nah, you feel me? I don't want them to make the Pro Bowl, because this is contract years. We already done paid so many people all this money, and if you make the Pro Bowl, guess what? We're gonna have to pay you. It's no questions. You feel me? And you're gonna have a lot of people that want you because you made the Pro Bowl, and you're in disputes with the Miami Dolphins right now on a contract. I do not need that situation right now. I need them to barely make the Pro Bowl, like you're one vote out, and we can go ahead and capitalize on that next year, because I felt some type of way about Tua not making the Pro Bowl last year, and I'm happy he didn't, because I don't need him getting all that money. I need him doing what Patrick Mahomes did. Give the team a discount. What Brady did. Give the team a discount so you could build for a brighter future and not live for just today. You got to live to fight another day, like Pop said, man. You can't put all your this is what the Dolphins did. They put all their eggs in one basket, and people getting paid, all type of people getting paid. So right now, you want to make sure that these guys that's upcoming to get paid or up to get paid, that they don't get paid like that because they don't balled out. No. I don't need you balling out. Give us another few years.
Yeah.
On the low.
Yeah. I agree with you. 100%. You know, I need you to play as good as a Pro Bowler, but not good enough to make the Pro Bowl.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think with this offense, they're going to spread that ball around, man. So I think it's a possibility that, you know, you have a player that is great that doesn't ball out, you know, because they're going to spread that ball around. So
definitely.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for the first preseason game. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it. I'll probably watch a little bit of it. I don't really have a lot of things going on, as long as it doesn't run too late, because the next day I'm going to Canes Fest. You going to Canes Fest?
I was thinking about going, but you know, I got a little man. I don't have nobody to watch him, so school's about to start. I can't waste all my watching with the parents, you know, right now for something that is not. I mean, it's Canes Fest, but it's not a real game, and so I'll pass. You know, I'll pass on it.
Yeah, it's not gonna be televised. They don't even want us, the media, taking pictures of video, and they don't want the fans taking pictures of video. They said as soon as they see anybody filming anything or taking pictures, they're gonna take you out of the stadium. So Cristobal is running a really, really tight ship over there.
General, man, come on.
So yeah, I'm gonna be over there. I'm gonna be in the press box. They said they're gonna allow us to be in the press box. So
thank God, boy, with that damn heat shit.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So I'll be tweeting, and you know, I'll be putting stuff on my message board on what I see out there. But I'm really excited to see these youngins, you know, go out there, man, because I truly think that this is the recruiting class that is going to change the U around, because so many of them are shining right now, you know, especially our guy, Ray Joseph is. Yeah, I think he could possibly start at some point. You know, he's that dynamic, and he's been like, every time you ask somebody in these press conferences, oh, how are the wide receivers doing? The first name that always comes up is Ray Joseph, you know, and Coach Kevin Beard, to put it in perspective, compared him to Santana Moss.
Yep, I seen that interview.
Yeah, they compared it to Santana Moss and said that, you know, because he's really fast, still very raw. Because Santana was kind of a raw product coming out of high school, out of Carroll City. He didn't really catch a lot of balls. He came to Miami on a track scholarship, didn't even have a football scholarship. So he kind of evolved into this great player for Miami. So that's what we're seeing from Ray Joseph. Ruben Bain is lifting more, is bigger, and it's just still dominant. It's same thing with the defensive line. The same way you ask, hey, who is standing out on the defensive line? Oh, well, Ruben Bain. You know, Ruben Bain is like the first name that kind of comes out, especially when they talk about, you know, the freshmen. So I'm excited to see what they do, if they can continue to what they did in the spring, because they shine in the spring game, and this is kind of like a spring game. It's like the fall game, I guess you could say. That's open to the public. So I'm excited to see them really ball out. I mean, for me, it's like to let you know, it's like we get to see, like, I want to say 10 minutes of practice, you know. That's it. Like, and you don't get to see a lot. They they're not showing nothing to us. Like, they doing the most basic of basic drills. We can only film like warm-ups. We can't film or take pictures of them, doing 1-on-1s or 7-on-7s or, 1-on-1s with the D lineman, O lineman on the running back, linebackers. But I get to see it, So when I'm out there, I tell you who flashes to me, man. Jadaeus Richard, he's a transfer from Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like he's going to be that guy. He's still very young. He's just a sophomore, but can play a lot of variety of positions. He flashes to me. I think James Williams is really going to show up this season. I mean, the way that he looks, the way he talks, seems like he's humbled. He seems like he's just really focused on taking his game to the next level. And I think this D coordinator is really going to make a big difference for him because he's more focused on the defensive back, his former defensive back himself. He's always working with the safeties. They got to die, usually working with the cornerbacks. But he's always working with James Williams, and James Williams always is like at the front. He's always leading the pack on the drills, and then right behind him is Cameron Kitchens. So I really think James Williams is really he looks like he's more built too. That at times when you looked at him before, he looked a little skinny. He looks like he's kind of filled out.
Okay.
He moves a little bit more fluid. So I'm really excited for James Williams and what he can do. And what we've been hearing in camp is that he's going to move more to like an outside linebacker type of role, or like a nickel, like that's right at the line type of role. And
Perfect.
I've been watching this kid
kind of like what the Honey Badger used to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Buda Baker, who I love. Buda Baker is like one of my favorite players in the NFL. He's kind of underrated. But he's one of those type of players, one of those hybrid type of players. So he's gonna confuse a lot of offenses because you're gonna think he's at the line, but he might drop off, or he may be deep and then he's just gonna run up to the line and smash somebody. So I'm really excited to see kind of what James Williams is going to do in this defense. He could be lined up at linebacker at times. Outside linebacker could come off the edge, could play nickel. They're going to use him in a variety of different ways. As far as the other players that are flashing on defense, to me, like Malik Bryant, this freshman from Jones, he's got family ties to Edgerrin James. That's kind of the reason why he came to the U. And like he is like, I think he's gonna be legit. Like after Wesley's been looking great. Wesley Basaint, he's been looking fantastic, man. And Francisco Malgoa, the brother of Francis, has been looking amazing as well. So that linebacker group, I know you've been watching these last couple of years. The linebacker's been kind of suspect these past couple of years. Yep. They haven't been deep. They haven't been making great tackles. They just seem out of place at times, and missed tackles. And now, first of all, the overall size is different. The overall size is just different. Marcellus Pulliam is another guy. Popo looks. Been hearing amazing things about Popo, of how
he's gonna do good with a nickname like Popo.
Exactly. Not the police.
Not the police, but imagine on the field, Popo, knock his ass out.
Right. So he's been balling out, really been grasping the defense well. Just all the rookie linebackers, the freshman linebackers have been really shining. Bobby's one of the fastest on the team, period.
How do you feel his awareness been, because you told me last time he got the speed, but of course he'll get better with where he needs to do certain things. Okay.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. The thing about linebacker is like you kind of have to like know what's going on. You can't just be fast and strong and just run into people. You kind of have to know what's going on, and I think he's getting there. I think he's not. I don't think he's on the level where you would see him starting or playing a lot. You may see him in that Bethune game in a couple weeks. What I'm saying? That Bethune game is going to be fun because you get to see pretty much every player is gonna get a chance to get out there. But I'm really excited about this defense overall, man. I really think it's going to continue to be the strength of the team. You got Akeem Mesidor, who was balling like a dog for us last year until he got hurt. He's kind of taking Ruben Bang under his wing. and Ruben Bain has been kind of pushing him from I asked him a question myself, King Mesidor, about how, Ruben Bain's been coming along and how he took him under his wing. And he was like, yeah, we was at practice and, I started out a little slow and he got on my back, you know what I'm saying? And he got me all pumped up. And I was like, damn, Ruben Bain is already motivating the veterans, bro. So, it's great to hear stuff like that, and Leonard Taylor is, coming back from an injury as well. And
How did he look? Leonard Taylor, weight wise, because again, last year, he was doing his thing when he was out there, but I think he could have been a little bigger. I don't know. I haven't seen him in person. I don't know if he gained more weight like Ruben Bain has, since he's been on campus. But, tell me about Leonard Taylor, because, for me, it's him and Ruben Bain. And another question I wanted to ask, do you think Ruben Bain's going to start? Because, everybody's talking about Ruben Bain. From my understanding, from you to Alex Dono, and he actually mentioned you speaking to you on when I seen his episode yesterday. Yeah, he actually said Marcus Benjamin. I was like, yeah, you feel me? So I was happy to hear that too. But yeah, your name is spreading as well when I'm watching different outlets, because of course, I watch Kings County, but I also got to go ahead and get different perspectives from different people that do the same thing that you do. But yeah, man, I want to know, like, do you really think that Margoa is going to start, and do you think Ruben Bain is going to start? Those were the two real questions I really wanted to ask you before I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's a really good chance, really, really good chance that Francis Mauigoa is going to start.
Okay.
The only player that I think like a lot of people not even really talking about is Matthew McCoy. That kid is big, and I think he may challenge Francis Mauigoa for that right tackle spot. Zion Nelson, just so you know, he's just not ready, man. He's just not ready at this point. He's just basically is playing without some cartilage in his knee. So it's like, it's going to be tough for him to be the same guy that he was. And I feel bad for him, to be honest, because
Let me just say it for you. His career is over. His career is over. Availability is the best ability. I know Marcus is, surrounded, he's on campus and, he got to be politically correct. But me outside looking in, me being an individual that follows everything about the Canes and the Dolphins and so on in Miami. And for the longest, I've been trying to say his career is over because he's always injured. Mark is going to say politically correct. Availability is the best ability, and he's going to have you think however you want to think. I'm going to tell you his career is over. We had Dwayne Wade that had to go ahead and end his career when he could have had 3 more years, but the same problem, that cartilage in your knee, you don't have that. Being a guy that's over 300 pounds, it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. And for it to already be like that when you're in college, you're like not even 20, you're 22, 23. Like, you think you're going to get better? Your best days are when you're young. So sorry. I don't know any other way to say it. I know Mark is going to, put some icing on it to make it sound a little better, but hey.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna let you say it, man, because I feel bad for him and the situation and his family, obviously. But at this point, he could be a rotational guy. But I don't see him challenging Francis, because I hear all kinds of great things from Francis. They call him CC, and they call his brother Kiko. So they I think have a really good chance to start. Now Ruben Bain, I don't think he starts over Nigel Lee Kelly. Nigel Lee Kelly, because to me the probably the only player that he could possibly challenge to start over would be Jafari Harvey. Jafari Harvey is a veteran though. He's filled out. He's ready, basically ready for the NFL. As long as he doesn't injure himself really bad this season and he has a solid year, I could see him going in the NFL draft maybe as a 5th, 6th round pick. So with that being said, Jafari Harvey is more of a ready type of defensive end. And Nigel Lee Kelly, they've been raving about him as well ever since last year. So he is a player. I don't quite see Ruben Baines starting over him. And then you got Akeem Mesidor, who he's definitely not going to start over. And then you got Leonard Taylor. So those are like your four guys. So I think he's definitely going to be in the rotation because defensive line is a position where they rotate guys. And they're big dudes. They get tired, and you want guys fresh, especially on third down.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Ruben Bain on a third down come in, especially if it's like a long drive. You see him kind of rotating in. The defensive coordinator said that the defensive line is the strength of this defense because they're deep. You know what I'm saying? These are things that we haven't heard, bro. We didn't hear, the linebacker room is deep. Cristobal was raving about the linebackers yesterday. And then the DC, like I told you, saying, we have a lot of depth. Like we don't hear that. We have not really heard that. So the fact that, you got a Ruben Bain that's going to be in the rotation, Jaden Wayne, the other freshman, I hear it's going to be in the rotation as well. And then you got veterans that are also going to be in the rotation, like Jacob Lichtenstein. He's going to be a rotating body. He's probably not going to do anything great, but he's going to be a rotating body. And then Jared Harrison Hunt. You haven't seen him because he was injured during the spring as well, but he's going to be another guy rotating in and out. And then Ahmad Moten, the kid from Cardinal Gibbons, you're going to see him kind of rotate in and out as well as far as the inside. So I don't think he'll start unless you see Jafari Harvey go down with an injury. Then you could probably think, okay, well, he might start. Or if Kelly goes down with an injury, or maybe if Mesidor goes down with an injury, or Taylor. I think in order for him to start this season, you probably have to see an injury. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to see him consistently all year, because you will.
Okay. Yeah. Running backs. Everybody talking about that freshman that supposedly was supposed to come in the summer, and the summer is here. He's supposed to be the human bowling ball. You feel me? I want to know what's going on with him. I mean, Trevante Citizen, I know he's probably not going to start the season. I mean, I heard him say it come out his mouth. He's like, he didn't give us a timetable, if it's going to be early, mid, or late in the season, but he said he do expect to, play. Now, from, when Trevante Citizen was, one of the prospects coming into Miami, rate his size compared to the human bowling ball. You feel me? Because I haven't seen any of them in person, and I don't know who's the biggest. I don't know. I mean, of course, everybody's going to have that lateral movement, know how to jug. Of course, everybody's going to have a little power, but I'm talking about who looks the part for you, because I trust you. I know all these other guys I listen to, but you there, and I know you personally. So kind of give me the game. What it's looking like.
Yeah, when I look at the running backs, it's easy to see who the biggest one is, bro. It's Mark Fletcher. It's the freshman. The freshman Mark Fletcher is already the biggest running back in the room. I wouldn't say by far, but it's significant. You could tell he is the biggest dude in the room, which is crazy. Trevante Citizen, I did look it up to make sure. It's funny that you asked that. I was like, is Trevante Citizen the same size? But he's slightly smaller, and not that much smaller though. He's like maybe 10 pounds less and an inch less than Mark Fletcher. But they pretty much kind of the same guy. And that tandem is something to really get excited about, because if you got those two guys, because right now our veterans are obviously Henry Parrish, who is basically like your best balanced back. I mean, I looked it up. He was averaging 6 yards a carry. The great thing I like about Parrish is that you hardly have a bad play, but you don't have an explosive play. You don't have a 60-yarder. Henry Parrish is just not that guy. Rooster was, but Rooster's gone now. But then they brought in AJ Allen, who is basically the second coming of Rooster, from what I hear and from what I've seen too. Catches the ball very. What's that?
We need to give him a name. The Rooster sound good. We got to give him a name.
Yeah, we do have to give him a name because, he's very similar to him. He's kind of like a one step in the ground and gone type of player, and catches the ball very well out of the backfield. I could see him on third down and long situations. being in the game. The only thing I kind of worry about is maybe in blocking situations. And Cristobal mentioned that Fletcher is doing a great job of pass blocking as well. You know, my guy Frank thinks that Fletcher is going to end up being the starter. You know, and I'm not quite sure. And we got a bet going on that we set today saying, oh, who's going to get the most goal line carries in the first game? Is it going to be Don Chaney, who I didn't mention yet, or Mark Fletcher? You know, and for me, I think Don Chaney has something to prove this year. He's been hurt back-to-back years, you know, season-ending injuries. But I think this is his year to really show, like, hey, I think they're going to give him the ball and let him show what he can do. If he doesn't show what he can do, then we know we're going to see Mark Fletcher. You know, that's how I feel like it's going to play out. I think Henry Parrish is going to be your first down, maybe second down back, and they will bring in A.J. Allen. And when it comes to short yardage situations, it's going to be Don Chaney, or it's going to be
Mark Fletcher.
You know, Trevante Citizen, once he is completely healthy, I spoke to him personally at Media Day, and I was getting the feeling that we're going to see him play. Of course, a player is probably going to tell you a little bit more than what it really is, but he didn't walk with a limp. He seemed fine. He seemed like he was mentally ready to just kind of get out there. He's been working out, been doing drills, you know, on his own, but I think the earliest that we may see him is that Bethune game, and that's the third game of the season. Okay. I think that's the earliest that we'll probably see a Trevante Citizen on the field to kind of see what he got. But I think for the future, for like not this year, but the following year, and you got Trevante Citizen and A.J. Allen is young too. He's only a sophomore. You got A.J. Allen, Trevante Citizen, and Mark Fletcher for the future, for the next 2 years potentially. It's a really good place to be. Because remember last year, bro, we had to pick up somebody. We had to pick up somebody from UAB, Lucius Stanley, because we was dealing with injuries. Last year was a nightmare on so many fronts, man.
Okay,
But when I look at the team this year compared to last year, it's even more evident. It's like, damn, that team was really bad when it comes
to Mario Cristobal should have did what Sean Payton and said. You feel me? Like, I done inherited bullshit. I had to get everybody up out of here. You feel what I'm saying? But Mario Cristobal has a little bit more class. He's not gonna say that. but yeah, man. I mean, enough about the Canes. It's still about the Canes because, you know, we're talking about their division, but, you know, there's rumblings about the ACC getting dismantled. There's rumblings about FSU saying that we don't have no problem giving this $120 million to get the hell up out this shit. You feel me? Because y'all not going to go ahead and have us with a noose around our neck like y'all be doing. No. We're going to go ahead and pay that bread and get the hell up out of here. Miami's not really speaking on it in public right now. I think it's perfect because they're going to find another reason why they're going to hate on Miami, do another investigation or this, that, and the other if we say anything that go against the grain. But from my understanding, these motherfuckers want to bring Cal and Stanford to the ACC. Like, yo, You think I'm trying to stay up 10 o'clock watching the boys play because they're playing in California? I am not trying to do that shit. You feel me? I want to get your opinion on that. And does it do anything for you wanting to watch certain games? Because I'll probably watch the Miami versus
Give me a quick second. Let me let somebody in. Oh.
Okay, yeah. Because I probably want to see Stanford, but I'm not trying to really see Stanford. You know, I mean, it's a smart school. It's a educational school. I mean, every college is educational, but it's based on being in college and being like one of these prestigious schools. And you don't normally get that many good players. You had Andrew Luck that came from Stanford. You had Richard Sherman that came from Stanford. But I don't really know too many players that came from Stanford. I'm sorry.
Christian McCaffrey to me is probably the best player that I can think of that come out of Stanford. But that's the reason. best ability is availability, right? and McCaffrey's still in the league and love it out, because he doesn't take too many hits, But you hit it right on the head, man. They want these educational schools. The ACC is trying to be portrayed as this educational conference. They got Miami is actually a pretty good school academically. They got Duke, and they got some other schools they're good. Wake Forest is pretty decent. Boston College that is a pretty decent school academically. Syracuse, and then that's the appeal. It's not, but what doesn't make any sense is that these are small markets, bro. Like Stanford is not technically in San Francisco. It's in Palo Alto. Nobody knows where that is. And then Cal is in Berkeley, which it's like not North Cal, not Southern Cal. It's like Middle Cal, So these are not huge markets. Like when you see a Stanford or Cal game, sometimes those stadiums are not even filled up because most of these kids are studying, bro. They're trying to build like rockets or something, or come up with the cure for cancer or something like that. So yeah, there's really not a lot of appeal money wise. I think the conference is interested just because of the education and the appeal of just having a West Coast audience. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they need some teams now because with everything going on, I think you need some teams because the Big 10 loading up, Big 12 is loading up, SEC's loading up. They about to get Texas and Oklahoma next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you need some teams. I would like to see if they grab maybe a UCF. That would have been smart, but obviously they're going to Big 12 or West Virginia that has some ties to the Big East back in the day. We used to play them. That team back in the day, or maybe I don't know, a UConn, Connecticut, kind of close to the New York market, so you kind of get some of that. So I would see maybe those teams would kind of make more sense than a Cal or Stanford. But it's crazy out there, man. It's crazy, and the thing is that it's going to be harder for teams to make the playoff because the playoff is going to be expanded in a couple of years.
12 teams.
Not next year, but I think the year after that. So it's going to be 12 teams, but these teams that are playing in these big conferences, they're not going to get a chance. Like the teams that used to have a chance, like a UCF. Now you're in a big conference. Now you got to play, big teams to win a conference. And the Big 10, oh my gosh, there's so many good teams in that conference now. You're talking about Oregon, you're talking about USC, Washington, to add to a Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin, like all these teams. It's going to be tough for like a middle tier team like an Iowa who used to kind of make it sometimes, or like a Michigan State who can kind of maybe sneak their way into the playoff. They actually made it to the playoff one year. That's not going to happen with all these teams. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm just waiting for the playoff to expand because once that happens, the other interesting part is Florida State, though, man. Florida State, they want out, and they're like, oh, we whatever, we'll pay that. It's $120 million is the buyout, and Miami's like, nah, we ain't paying that, and Florida State's like, maybe we'll pay that, and if they pay it, where do they go, and should we follow? Because if they end up in the SEC, should we go to the SEC, or should we just dominate the ACC at this point? Because if Clemson and Florida State end up going to the SEC, then who's that left with us? I mean, we gonna be battling North Carolina for the championship for the ACC every year.
Me personally, I don't care. If Miami wind up leaving, I was thinking about the same thing. Clemson and Florida State leaving and Miami dominating shit. whoever there's left over. I mean, of course, they expanded the damn playoffs. So even if they consider, oh, this is not one of those conferences that's really like heavy, or competitive like that, they'll still make the playoffs. All you need to do is just win your games and have a better record than the other, and you should be perfectly fine. Our name speaks by itself. I mean, they hate us anyway. So, I mean, and I think the playoffs will be better if Miami's in there. But that's me thinking because I'm local. So regardless of the fact, me personally, I just want the playoffs, like you said, to expand itself. Whatever happens with the conferences is going to happen. I don't really care because me personally, I wanted to be like how I was back in the G with Miami. Miami dominating everybody. I don't care who the hell it is. ACC, Big 12, Big 10, SEC, I don't care. If we make the playoffs, we're going to be playing different on conferences anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, man, enough about conferences, about University of Miami, the Dolphins.
Win, baby.
Oh, just win, baby. Just win. But I want to go ahead and jump into you see what happened, over the weekend, that riverboat fight?
Yeah, how could I not see that, man? I think it was like all over Twitter. It was all over Instagram. It was like different angles too. I felt like I was watching a football game and they would just keep doing the replay, giving you different angles, showing you what happened. And then they was coming up with nicknames for the different people that was in it. They were calling the dude that jumped in the water and swim, that was calling him Aquaman.
I seen Michael Phelps.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, and you know how they be saying black people can't swim, and if they swim, they barely swimming. Boy, that boy could move, boy. The way he done swam over there in literally like 10, 15 seconds. Yo, you already knew he was not going to be playing games when he jumped out of that damn water. And that's exactly what happened, boy. Like, they gave those people the business. And the funny thing is, I love the commentary. The person the lady that was recording, and not just recording, she was like, yes, she was the one making the video. And then the other guy later on with a different angle, he come with the chair. I was thinking about WWE. Bam! Yeah. I'm like, yo. And the funny thing is, what I love the most, I love the fact that the officers that were there, they didn't tase nobody. They didn't do all the craziness. They let them boys go ahead and do their thing. It's kind of like the umpire when the other day when that guy that had got knocked out, he got knocked out on the field. He ran to the damn Yeah, he ran to the pitcher and he got knocked out. You feel me? He got back up, but he got knocked out. But yeah, man. Yo, man, that fight was the truth. I don't know what the hell.
It reminded me of a bunch of things. It reminded me of
going on.
Like Royal Rumble.
Damn internet going in and out right now, but it's not gonna stop me from going in. Yeah, you're not gonna stop me. You're not gonna stop me, internet. I don't give a fuck what you say. You're not gonna stop me, boy. Cause boy, what the hell going on over here? I'm over here getting pissed off now. You feel me? I'm looking at the Wi-Fi like and it's down right now. But we got.
Do they still have the Royal Rumble like in WWE? Because that's what it reminded me of, the Royal Rumble. Like where everybody was all fighting, and then you have to throw somebody out of the ring, and the last person who left wins the Royal Rumble. That's 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 what it reminded me of, especially with like the chair, dude hitting buddy with the chair, man. That shit was crazy, man.
But yeah, man. Hit the lady, hit the guy with the chair, follow that up, hitting the lady on the floor with the chair. And I ain't condoning hitting women. I ain't condoning hitting anybody with a chair. But I'm like, where the hell did that chair come from? You feel me? Because y'all on the dock. That shit came randomly from nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing was the aftermath. The aftermath was when those people.
There were so many funny things. There was so many fucking things on this one. Remember when it first started, dog? When he flipped off his hat, it was like he flipped off his hat, like it's old.
He was the back call. The back call. It was the back call, boy. He just threw it up, boy. Kind of like Batman with the light showing the Batman logo in the sky, boy. He done, boy, and everybody came. It was the guy above him running. You know, I'm like, yo. The crazy thing is, through all of that, the people that got arrested were who? Nothing but those people, them Caucasians. They were the only ones that got arrested. Why? Because, and you know the backstory behind that. You know why it happened and everything, right?
I don't quite know the backstory. You can tell me though.
All right. So the backstory was that guy, the black guy that threw his hat in the air. He's a security guard over there. And you know, he got to go ahead and, you know, do security duties. You know, people that's not supposed to be certain places and docked in certain areas, he's going to go ahead and tell them that they got to kick rocks. Y'all got to move, you know, because you got these big yachts and you got these big, I don't know what they call them, you know, with the like, it's in Louisiana, that old school, like it got like a big, you know, regardless of the fact. Those Caucasians that they docked somewhere they were not supposed to. So one of the yachts, that's what we call them in Miami. I don't know what they call them in Alabama and Louisiana, so I'm just gonna call it a yacht. So the yacht couldn't dock where he needed to dock, and he told them that they need to move. And it seemed like, you know, like in the beginning they were like, all right, whatever, but then it kind of brushed them off. And then he asked them again, and he asked them again, and finally he just moved that shit by himself with his hand, like moving it, you know, it's in water, you know. And that's when all hell broke loose. You know, the person that he originally confronted that seemed kind of chill is the person that threw the first blow. I guess it's kind of like somebody's talking shit to your dad or talking shit to your mom, and you know they're older, and that person just was talking to you, and then you're probably like, oh, now you're talking to my dad about the same shit, or you're talking to my mom, and you know they're elderly. So you're going to go ahead and do what you do, even though you're wrong. And that's exactly what happened. And from there, you know, when you had the white women jumping him, the kids was jumping him, the men were jumping him, that's when everything went left. And at the end of the day, the only people that got arrested was the Caucasians, you know, and they're all over on World Star. 2 of them turned themselves in today. One turned themselves in the other day. Big ass black eye. One of them, she looked like Pinocchio with her nose, the way her nose was swollen.
I was like, what in the world is going on with her nose?
Yeah, man. I've never seen a nose like that in real life.
Yeah, exactly. She looked like a baby elephant with that nose. I was like, what was going on?
But yeah, man, that fight was the truth. I mean, you have people on social media calling it a new black holiday. Finally, they're able to get some of their get back from certain racist individuals. And it was just hilarious, you know. I just love the plain fact that us as black people seeing something happening to our own, and rather than just pulling your phone out, you know, like some people did. Other people actually really came to that guy's aid because, again, he's 65 years old. He's elderly. So I'm pretty sure those people, they're getting charged with a plethora of different crimes. You know, when you hit an old guy, old woman, the charges are doubled. It's kind of if you sell drugs like in a school or if you sell it at a park, you know, they're going to throw the book at you. Whatever you was going to get, if you was going to get 5, they're going to give you, multiply that by like 3 or multiply it by 2. And it's just funny. It was great to see. Of course, we don't condone violence on the MarcWes Sport Podcast, but that shit was funny as hell. I'm sorry. It is funny.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what else was funny that we seen this week was
giraffe.
Yeah. and apparently it was an old video too. Like this was an old video that just kind of resurfaced because, you know, Liz Cabbage was talking about, you know, maybe joining the Nigerian basketball team, and a lot of members of that team came out basically saying they don't want her. And then so all of a sudden this video comes out of her getting just whomped like out of nowhere. It was like one of those bomb. Yeah, I mean, from what I seen, like I saw the like the prelude to this action happen.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like basically blatantly elbowing the girl like
Yes.
consecutively, you know,
Yes.
like
Looking like Shaq.
yeah. And she had no remorse, you know what I'm saying? If you elbow somebody like 3 times and they just like if you show no more remorse, I mean, that energy is just gonna build up like Goku, bro. you gonna feel like Dragon Ball Z, and you go build up this anger, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened to that with that Nigerian player, and she just came and just came at her, and from what I heard, she gave her a concussion.
That's
You
good.
know,
I seen that one video that me, you, and Chris seen, but then I seen another video recently. Matter of fact, like probably an hour before we started on the podcast, where she kind of like slapped the girl in the face like this, and the girl, she went down and holding her head. Liz Cambridge, she actually walking to the damn bench, pretending everything's all good, and that girl just came out of nowhere and just
with the sonic boom.
You feel me? And this how you know where it was actually justified, because none of her teammates got up to do anything about it. Because I'm pretty sure they seen the same shit that we seen. They're in the game. They hear Liz Cambridge talking shit. They hear Liz Cambridge. They see Liz Cambridge playing like old school Shaq, elbowing people, and they eliminated that from the NBA as well, because that's a dirty play. And then you just slapped the girl across the face. Like, come on, man. What you think she gonna do? Oh, you're big, you're giraffe pussy, and you think that people's gonna go ahead and be like, oh, okay, no, she's one of the red girls. We're gonna go ahead and just take that. I seen some shit saying, this is the definition of lighter skinned black individuals, being in Australia, and they were saying basically they're basically comparing her to the house and everybody's black, but they're kind of comparing it to the house one and right. So
she got light skin privilege.
Yes. So crazy that it happened. I'm happy that it happened, because like, look, I'm tired of people doing things to people in sports and getting away with it, hiding behind the referee, hiding behind certain things. Like, I mean, of course she probably got fined, and I think that Nigerian basketball player kind of regret it now, because I mean, we do know women's sports don't even get paid like that. So I don't know what check she was getting, but that's one less check today. But hopefully they could go ahead and see the video and be like, it was justified, so she could go ahead and not get penalized. Hopefully the person that do get penalized is Liz Cambridge, because she was the main culprit in there, and you can't do something to people all basketball all through the game and not to expect some type of retaliation in whatever form it's going to be. It just happened to be a punch.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's been the story this week, and I'm glad she is getting what she deserves as far as being dragged in social media, or being canceled, as the young people say. So it is what it is.
It is. You feel me now? Yo, I know you. I wanted to talk about this to you and Chris. Chris probably gonna have to turn on his mic in a second, because the way y'all motherfuckers was hyping up this damn fight, I'm like, what the hell going on over here? Buddy done got gutted, mudded, slutted. Times 10. Yeah. You saying Goku, people like Super. Yeah, he was Super Saiyan 5 on that boy. Did you see his face? I haven't seen a boxing fight like that where the guy's face was so fucked up.
You know what it reminded me of? Reminded me of, remember that episode of Martin?
Martin.
When he was fighting Tommy Hearns. And like
he had all them bumps on his face.
And his face was all swelled up. I mean, that's what Errol Spence looked like, man. And I wasn't surprised that he lost. You know what I'm saying? And me and Chris was talking about it right before the fight, who we thought was going to win and whatnot. And we both thought Terrence Crawford was going to win, but nobody thought he was going to get mudded. Like,
nah. But you know what it is? you know how I kind of look at it, right?
Hmm.
Because Errol Spence, when you look at him fight, you don't really see anything like you don't see he's like super quick or crazy reflexes. But when you see him fight, he breaks down a lot of fighters. So
Where's he
you're
down?
like, all right, so there has to be something that he's doing technically that he's able to break these dudes down nasty. Now, when I look at them, I compare them to like NBA players. Terrence Crawford was like Kobe, and Errol Spence to me is like Tim Duncan. You see what I'm saying? Where you look at Tim Duncan, you're like, how is he one of the best players? He looks slow. He look like, it don't look as cool. It don't look as flashy. It don't look as fast. It don't look,
Like
and when you
Luka.
look at or when you look at even Luka looks better than Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? But when you look at Kobe, you go Terrence Crawford, Kobe, you go, okay, it's more, but just the level of competition. If you see, a Tim Duncan on one, he's whooping people up, and then Kobe playing one, he whooping people up. You're gonna be like, damn, I want to see these two play one. Now styles make fights, and we didn't realize that Terrence Crawford's style had the, it was just way better.
Yeah, it was clearly the better fight, better style. You know what I'm saying? Because he could not get away from that jab, bro. He could not get away from that jab. It was like
he ran into it.
It was like T-Bud's this was a magnet to his head. You know what I'm saying? He just couldn't, and like once he got knocked down the first time, and a lot of boxers, of course, make this mistake, he tried to be more aggressive. And that just plays into T-Bud's style. And what really like blew me away about T-Bud was just how hard he was countering. Like usually a counter punch is not, if you hit him with right, and you're not gonna have as much power if you come back with a left. His left was just as powerful as his first right. It was
Bud Crawford is a switch hitter, so he could fight southpaw, he could fight
just off his name.
Contemporary,
His name is
what I mean? But oh man, one thing I do want to say about Terrence Crawford is his competitiveness. I think that is what really, you know what I mean? Because both of them dudes are talented, but Bud Crawford is like, he's one of them people that you see like is ridiculously competitive, like crazy. Like it's in his blood. There's a video, I don't know if you guys saw this video of this little black girl running track, where she's running track, like I think it was like a 200 meters, and her shoe falls off. And the girls are way ahead of her. She's way behind. She picks up her shoe, puts her shoe on, and she eats. That's Terrence Bud Crawford's daughter. That's Bud Crawford's daughter. Yeah. So it shows that competitiveness is in the blood. So he's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was talking about his. It was talking about his mom would pay kids in the neighborhood to fight him, because she would be like, man, y'all can't whoop Bud. And she would even talk shit to, like, before, when she didn't know he could fight like that, she would tell him all the time, "Oh, you're gonna get your ass whooped, this and this and that." And he was like, "Man, I'm telling your mom, I'll whoop everybody," And she would pay people in the neighborhood, kids, to fight him. Oh, whoop Bud's ass, and he would whoop everybody's ass.
Damn.
Thank
God he knew how to fight. You feel me? Because that looked like some type of form of abuse. Imagine his ass getting his ass whooped every time, and your old girl is the one paying for niggas to whoop your ass. So good thing
that's probably what made him a great fighter.
Huh?
That's probably what made him a great fighter, though. Fighting at a young age, man. But the thing about this fight that I liked is because, boxing enthusiasts like me and Chris, we've been knew about Terrence Crawford for a while, but now everybody kind of knows who he is now. Now he's kind of put in this upper echelon of fighters. Now I want to see him fight Canelo. I feel like that to me is like the next fight for him. You know what I'm saying?
I think Canelo might be too big.
Shit,
he may have to put in some weight, or Canelo may have to drop weight. But I think that's kind of like the next fight that I want to see.
What about Tank?
I'm leaning more towards Tank versus Shakur Stevenson, something like that. Or Tank could go up and fight Crawford. I heard it was going back and forth on Twitter.
Hey, that'd be a good fight because hey, like Tank and Crawford, those are the names. You trying to bring the sport back. I mean, we need big names. We don't need this, Tank versus the guy you just named. I just forgot his name.
Canelo?
Not Canelo. Canelo, nah.
Oh no,
Shakur Stevenson. Yeah.
Exactly.
It would be a good fight, but Wes is right. Nobody knows who Shakur Stevenson is.
That's crazy because
Wes might be right.
I felt like he's popular, but I guess that's just me because I watch it. Because to me, Shakur Stevenson is probably he's the next fighter, the next great fightor to me.
Yeah, but Shakur Stevenson is still fighting on regular ESPN. You see what I'm saying? He don't even do pay-per-views.
T-Bud just graduated from that, by the way. Like he just got away from Top Rank, and he was fighting on ESPN for a while, and that's how we started to really grew to know him.
Hey, I just I'm a guy that I'm not one of these boxing gurus like you guys, but I do know big names. I do know I want to see the big name. I mean, even when it came to Mayweather, like how many people was actually watching all of Mayweather's fights before the last 5 or 6 fights? People wasn't really watching him. You had people watching him, but people wasn't watching him. He was not the money team. The money team came later. He was always a great boxer when he was in the Olympics and all that, this, that, and the other. But again, at the end of the day, like you need people like me, somebody that just woke up. It's a regular day. Babe, what you want to do? Oh, you want to go to the bar and watch the boxing fight? Oh, it's Mike Tyson versus this person. Oh, it's Mayweather versus this. Oh, it's Pacquiao versus. You know what I'm saying? People not going for no Shakur King or whatever his name. I already forgot his name again.
I think you're gonna start to. I think Shakur Stevenson is gonna start to ring bells, just like Tank Davis has start to ring bells for you, right? Because 2 years ago you probably didn't even know who that was, right?
Nah. I know about Tank since the money team, since he was with Mayweather.
Okay, well, for an average person, I think they probably just now starting to really know who Tank Davis is. So
he got his notoriety. Not just being a good good boxer, but being next to Mayweather. Mayweather basically signed that light on him. So when you got somebody over there co-signing you, practically the best boxer, some gonna say of all time, some gonna say of this generation, he's undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when you got somebody like that sponsoring you, training you, this, that, and the other, like, you're not gonna get nothing but shine. And even after that, they had a little strained relationship, leaving the money team. I seen after he won his previous fight, him and Mayweather chilling with each other, vibing, because it's all business. Yeah, you young and you think I'm over here trying to take your money, but it's all business. You feel me? And I think now a little older, I think he's a little smarter. He still make bonehead moves. I think recently he got arrested or, I think they violated his house arrest or some shit like that. But hey, it is what it is. He's not really getting into real trouble. It's small violations like that. But hey, when you young and you got all that money, then it don't really mean anything. It's not like I'm over here trying to be a police officer. It don't matter if I got a felony or misdemeanor. I'm Tank Davis. It's like I'm Floyd Mayweather. I'm these people. So hey, it is what it is. One more thing before we go ahead and close this thing out. You had Nate Diaz get his ass whooped too.
Yeah, but are we really counting that, bro? Like, I'm tired of him beating up on old UFC fighters, bro. Like, to be honest, I mean, yeah, it counts because it's an actual boxing fight, but like, I'm tired of seeing that shit. Like, you did it against Tyron Woodley, and now you're doing it against Nate Diaz, which, Nate Diaz, he made it a fight at the end because he's Nate Diaz and he's probably got one of the hardest chins ever. But like,
you see his face?
Yeah, I mean, he got whooped up. I mean, he's not a boxer. He's a UFC fighter. I mean, yeah, he can box people up in the cage, but he's not a boxer. And this guy's so much younger than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jake Paul is in his prime kind of boxing, and Nate Diaz is on his way out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of him fighting. If you're gonna fight somebody, like at least fight somebody in your age range. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't he just fight that guy he lost to?
Fight a boxer, huh?
He fought that guy he lost to,
and he lost, right?
But it was a close fight. We spoke
and he's not
on
even
it.
that great of a fight, and he's not even that great of a boxer. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, it's entertaining or whatnot because it's kind of like this Mayweather factor. Because when I was watching Mayweather in his last part of his career, everybody was just trying to see if Mayweather was going to get knocked out or lose. It's kind of the same situation with Jake Paul. Like, we want to see Jake Paul get knocked out or lose. So we gonna tune in. I watched it, of course. But it's like, am I counting it as a win? Am I respecting you as a boxer? Not really. I'm not really respecting you like that. Chris, I want to hear your opinion on this.
I like the business model. It's a smart business model. I think what Marcus is saying is correct. Is you're fighting a bunch of old MMA dudes, and they're not boxers. You know what I mean? It's like saying, oh, you're gonna put a checkers player versus a chess player, or you know what I'm saying, or saying you're gonna put a NFL football team versus a rugby team with NFL rules in an NFL stadium. It's like, okay, you could put a championship rugby team, a championship pro league rugby team against a fucking probably a shitty college team and tell them, oh, y'all got to play American football. That rugby team is not going to win. You know what I mean? They might be a little competitive just because they do the same thing. They run into each other. They're strong, but they just not going to win. But I think more to the fact, is he a real boxer? Yeah, he's a real boxer. He's still a rookie, you know. I think I like it just for the fact that this kind of it's entertainment, but it also exposes MMA fighters because they think overall they're the better fighters, but when it just comes to hands, they don't got hands like that. Right. A professional MMA fighter's hands is at the level of a rookie boxer. And I think I like it because it's exposing that. And truthfully, if he keeps picking on old MMA fighters, I'm gonna still watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna still watch it. Like if he fights, I don't know who's a fighter that's on their way out right now.
Yeah. Let's see, like a Robbie Lawler or something like that, or even Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's on his way out.
And Conor McGregor called his ass out too. Conor McGregor
would be a great fight for Jake Paul, and I would watch it. 100%.
I think he's aiming for that. I think that's what he's aiming for. But he already said that. I give that dude his props though, because he's picking on MMA fighters, but he also said, hey, let's run it back in MMA with Nate Diaz. He said, because he signed to the PFL. And he said, if you sign with the PFL, that's the only problem is I don't know if Nate Diaz will sign with the PFL. He's very UFC loyal. But he's like, if you come over here with us, let's do an MMA fight. Now, that's balls.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to respect this guy. You feel me? One, because of the business aspect, like what Chris just said. You see, we just spoke on Spence and Crawford, and you said Crawford just got his notoriety, getting paid. Man, I think that's why everybody hating on him. They want him to not get paid all through boxing, and then later in his career, you get paid. He like, fuck that, man. People gonna watch. I'm entertaining. I know how to talk shit. I'm gonna use my followers, and I'm gonna fight whoever I want to fight to get this money. I'm not gonna get mad at him over that. You feel me? Because again, all these people that's talking shit, like Nate Diaz was talking shit, all these other people was talking shit. All you need to do is just put your money where your mouth is, and he did exactly that. They talk shit, let's fight. And he won every time. The only one that, only one that I think is a perfect fight right now for him is Conor McGregor, because Conor McGregor, he's in the UFC. Yeah, his career is on a downhill right now, especially after he broke his leg in the last fight. But he went in the ring with Mayweather, and he was holding his own. So, if people are not gonna go ahead and knock McGregor for challenging Mayweather, people don't get mad at Jake Paul for just following that same damn script. He's just made a little tweaks to it, and he's making all the money, and he's collecting all the bag, because I don't think that you got so many people in his pocket, compared to UFC and Dana White, compared to regular boxing. Majority of the money, if not all the money, go to him. So why not? Why not? And matter of fact, didn't Jake go against Mayweather too?
Nah, that was his brother, Logan Paul.
Oh, okay. Regardless of the fact, but you see what they're doing? That's what they're doing. They're doing a smart thing. Nobody cares if I lost. Tyson lost before. You feel me? Tyson lost before, but he got all the money. It don't matter. You feel me? People gonna be like, oh, he's not fighting nobody. How much I made? Did I make 10 million? Oh, did I make 15 million? Oh, did I make 20 million? And all y'all other peons, y'all over here, y'all UFC and regular boxing guys, y'all gotta take a long time to get that purse. No, he's getting that big purse early on in his career, and he's not a traditional boxer or traditional person that does what he do. I just gonna go ahead and salute people like that, because trust me, all these boxers and people from UFC, why y'all even signed to these? Y'all could go ahead and do it yourself. He's giving y'all the damn script. He's giving you the playbook right there. Come on, man. Crawford and Spence were supposed to fight a long time ago, but just because of their damn agents and stuff like that, stuff ain't happening. You don't need these people. You could get all the bag yourself. And Ngannou seen that, and that's why he left. I mean, you wind up signing somewhere else, but you and Ngannou, you could go ahead and get that by yourself. But sometimes in the beginning, you need somebody with a lot of money to go ahead and help you get that first big bag, and then you could go ahead and do your thing. So we'll see how it goes. But, I like it. I know, Marcus, you're not going to respect the win.
I like it. Like I said, I watched it. There's not a Jake Paul fight that I haven't since he's been like blown up. Like, I haven't missed any Jake Paul fight, and I'm going to watch it. If he fights McGregor, I'm going to watch that shit. Okay. But do I respect him as a boxer?
Not as of yet.
No, not
say
yet.
That. I do not as of yet.
Yeah, I respect him as an entertainer. I respect him as a businessman. But as a boxer, not yet. You just picking on semi-retired UFC fighters.
Shit. If he beat McGregor, would you respect him a lot more?
I would respect him a little bit more, but McGregor is also old, you know what I'm saying, and retired, and he's not really. When's the last time he's even fought somebody? It's been a minute, so he's not going to be in the best shape. So I don't know, man. A little bit more, but not a lot. You're still trying to pick on old UFC fighters if you fight McGregor.
People in boxing do that too, man. They be having a whole bunch of fights. They don't have like you just found out about this person. This person got 30 wins. So guess who? You feel me? So that's what he's doing right now. He's getting them wins under his belt. So when they say like he's 30-1, people are like, damn, you done fall. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, props to him. I wish I was part of his entourage eating that money with him. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, but hey, when I'm looking at it from my sports mind, like when I'm trying to measure up who the greats are or who the best is right now, Jake Paul doesn't come into the conversation. I'm sorry.
All good, man. Hey, I feel you, man. But yeah, man, if you don't have anything else,
that's it.
All right, so that's it. This concludes this episode of the MarcWes Sports Podcast. Until the next episode, peace.